Hello everyone, how you doing? You're very welcome to this week. This the first of the season of CASTLEREA Cavaliers with myself, Aidan Rafterty, and of course, as always, we have Thomas Callaghan, the coach. Hello, Thomas. How are you? Are you well?
I'm good, Aidan. Thanks for having me back for another season. And I can't wait to get started and fit you in on all things Castlereagh basketball.
That's it, and hopefully we'd like to wish you all the best for the season ahead. And yeah, I just seen there on Facebook, the girls are out for their first game this week. We'll cover that, but I suppose just to recap, just to give the listeners a reminder of I suppose a quick recap of last season and how things went, and of course your goals for the coming season.
Yeah, so last season, I suppose I'll start with the men's team. We had a rough start to the season, and we spent most of the second half, the back end of the season after Christmas, playing catch up, and we did pretty well. We clawed back and we got our record back to even. I think we were 8 wins, 8 losses after being 0 for 7 at the start. So we shot ourselves fight to pull ourselves out of the depths, I suppose. We just missed out on top four qualification. We finished fifth, and I think it was just by one result. So one win, one more win would have done it for us. But that was just we paid for a slow start. So we finished fifth in the league by a whisker, and then we went and we managed to win the Shield competition at the top four weekend in a very close game with Mohill, the hosts. So going into this season, I think the big thing is just to get a good start and not leave ourselves playing catch up like we did last year. So and I think that's to hit the ground running and not let it happen again is kind of our goal with the men's team. As for the women, similar enough season. We finished fifth, again just by one result. I think there was a fixture that didn't get played that could have got us in, but then we did lose a few games against opposition that we should be beating. So we've no one to blame but ourselves for missing out on that. But again, we resolved and we went down, and the ladies won the shield as well in the women's competition at the top four in Mohill. We beat Drumlish in the final. So great to get silverware, but obviously this year our goals for both teams will be to get that top four qualification. As for the under 60 boys last year, it was our first time having an underage team, Cavaliers. And they did very well. They had a great run in the school competition. They got to an All Ireland final, just came up short, and they won the LLR league for the club. So very strong group, and hopefully we can crack on with them for more success in the under 18s this year.
And I suppose looking ahead now, I suppose through or during pre-season, I suppose any new players come into the squad at any of the squads, the under 16s, the girls or the men's teams in pre-season that might have bolstered it, or any young lads come into the men's team for the season ahead that have been shown promise, and of course the ladies team. So how has pre-season been going?
It's been going well. Yeah, we've recruited a few more. Um, we have Adam Gavigan. He played for AIT a few years ago in the LLR League, and he started working in Carrick. And that was during the summer looking for a club, and he's coming down playing with us for the men's team. And a great athlete. He's very long and fast and well conditioned, and he's able to finish and shoot. So he's going to be a big addition for us this year. Another good athlete and a source of just all around. He showed us that we had a preseason tournament in Longford that he can score, he can defend, he can rebound, and he can play a multitude of positions. So Adam is going to be a big addition for us with the men's team. We'll see now with the young lads playing senior. I think they're trying to wrap up the under 18 season at Christmas or maybe just a bit after Christmas to avoid clashing with football. So we might, towards the later end of the season, look at Jamie Dowd or Joseph Botton to come in and get involved with the senior team and see if they can get minutes or at the very least start practicing with us more often. As for the ladies, we're very lucky to have everybody back. it's tough to say with the ladies group because most of them are in college or they're starting college or starting work in different places. So you never know who's going to be coming or going. But we have pretty much everybody back as far as I know, as far as I can think of right now. And we have the addition as well of Alana Hanmore has signed up this year. She's played ladies football with Roscommon, I think, at different levels. A very quick, very good athlete, competitive and tough as well. We have the addition of Kelly Coleman. Kelly is from Balladreen. Um, she very early on in the summer. She wanted to get involved, and she kind of knew we were going to be doing bits in ones and twos over the summer. So I've seen a lot of her, and she's very keen, very solid mid-range shooter, and very quick learner. She's brought a lot of things on fairly quickly. So, and then Maria McCarthy has also joined us. Maria's from Lough Lane. I think she played in school with St. Nathan's. Maria's very tall, but not just that. She has great post moves. She's a good finisher inside, which is a major boost for us. We've always been short, one or two tall post players. So her presence is going to be massive for us as well. So a lot of additions to the women's team and a few as well strong additions for the men's as well. For the boys, a few lads who maybe didn't get the chance to play last year because of the age change. Now we're going up to under 18. Are getting involved. I know Joseph Dare has signed up. He's someone I've tried to get involved in basketball the last few years. He's an excellent shooter, so we'll have him for the club this year. Killian Crossan, Conal Murphy, I think, signed up as well. So a few lads who are maybe just too old for the under-16s last year, but now can go and play, get the chance at under-18 this year. So a lot of new faces, so it's very exciting.
And I suppose just because we also cover colleges basketball as well for CASTLEREA Community College. How's that going, or has that trend started for that yet, or I suppose is it too early, or what's the situation?
No, we both teams have one group game played, so our under-16 girls are kind of inexperienced, so they lost to Carrick in their first game. It was actually very close and very good for them. Kira Malone from Ballintubber hit a last-second three-pointer to send it to overtime, but they came up short in the end. The under-19 girls lost their first game against Carrick as well at the buzzer by 2 points, so a bit of heartbreak there. And we have to play Nathies in the girls' competition next to see if we go through. So the group of three and the top two go through. So if we can manage to win in either of those games, we'll be going on to the semi-final of the region. As for the boys, the under-19s had a good win against Nathies. They won comfortably enough. Jamie Dowd had an excellent game. Joseph Botten had an excellent game. Kevin Hester, they're young now and for under-19, but they're very strong, very fundamentally sound. Obviously, kind of led that under-16 team last year. So we had a good win in that, and the under-16 boys lost fairly comfortably to Nathies at that level. So we're looking for wins. We're actually going tomorrow morning, Friday 27th. We're playing Carrick in the boys. Under-19s are already through. The under-16s will be looking for a win to go through. So colleges basketball all kind of right in the mix at the moment, waiting on results to see who goes through and who doesn't. So after midterm, then we'll hopefully be in a few semi-finals for the region.
Okay, so just before we kind of come up to date on all the teams, with all what you've said on all four teams, I suppose, in mind, players coming in, players leaving, and all that. Has that kind of shaped any kind of changes in how you're going to play, or any styles, or changes in how you're going to play this season, or I suppose structure, or different things like that? Is there any changes, or it's going to be more or less kind of the same style? But I suppose when you have different players and you have more options, it kind of gives you more tactics, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the addition of Alana, Maria, and Kelly to the women's team has definitely given us more options in terms of different sets we can run and different principles we can play with, particularly like at the basket and being a bit more physical. And particularly inside, where hopefully we can have two like conventional post players. Last year we were Chloe Finnan, Rachel Mulligan, Keaveney, Sandra Kane as well played inside a bit at all different times, and they'd be more guards, and outside players. So hopefully that'll allow us to do that. Alana as well is a point guard option, so it allows us to maybe push a few options off the ball and get her in, controlling the pace of the game. Definitely, if we were up against a team who we might feel like we're faster than, Alana will be a big addition there. So the men's team, yeah, Adam just gives us another athlete, somebody long, athletic. So I think he's definitely going to add to our fast break. He's definitely going to bring something to our defensive end as well. Just another big presence on the floor to take up space and also cover ground really fast. So definitely opens up options and definitely enhances both teams, the additions we have over the summer.
That's great. And so, right, we'll start off now with the under 16s with regards to matches. Are they out this weekend?
No, they're on Thursday the 2nd. So Thursday coming, they're playing Longford at home. So that's actually going to be a really tough game. Longford under 18s have a strong side, but the boys now, they play to the level of the competition most of the time, and hopefully they can pull out a performance. And it's at home, so hopefully that'll suit us, and they might be able to get us. It'll be a very emphatic result to beat Longford in the first game of the season for them. So they'll be hungry, and they'll know they'll have the beating of them. And hopefully with the games now they've played, they'll be playing tomorrow. They'll do a bit of practice on maybe Monday evening and hopefully go into that game with a bit of momentum. We'll be looking at Joseph Botton again, Jamie Dowd, Dylan Kane, Kevin Hester to really use their experience of last year's All-Ireland run to lead the charge. Ross Flynn is another man from that squad who will be looking to just play with intensity, and that's the kind of strength of that team. They're very intense, very fast, very aggressive in trying to force turnovers, and they're getting their basketball skill level then is growing all the time. So I'm excited to see how they get on. The boys have I can notice this year in school, they're all gotten bigger and stronger. Some of them are shooting up even taller, so some of them are looking down on me now. So it's a bit of an ego check for me, but so I'm excited to see how they get on tomorrow in their schools match and next week in their club match. It's hard to say. Both teams have the beating of each other, so it's going to be very competitive, and I'm just looking forward to it.
And that takes us on to the ladies' team then. I suppose you said those new additions now, and as I said at the start of the show there, I just seen there that the girls have a game this weekend. So I suppose the new girls will be kind of featuring in some way in this game at the weekend, will they?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have all available. We actually played one game already away to Mohill, the champions, and we were fairly comfortably beaten. But like that, it was kind of similar to last year where, we were down. We were missing. Sarah Tyrrell was sick. Maria McCarthy couldn't make it. So we called on Abby Flanagan she was obviously with us last year as well for a few games. And she stepped in nobly enough. She was brave into that post player role with kind of four guards around her. And Mohill are very big and strong and fast and tall. And that was the difference in that one. But Abby bravely, I told her, stay out, whatever you do, stay out of foul trouble, because we need her on the floor, just her presence and her size and her rebounding. And she managed a few baskets. She was being guarded by Caoimhe McGuinness, who's one of the better players in the league. And Abby managed to score 6 or 8 points against her in the 1v1. So I was very happy with Abby in that game. Another massive positive was Sandra, one of our leading scorers for the last 2 years. Usually against Mohill, she faces really tough defense. They know has the ability to score big, and it was the same in this one. But she managed to change up her game and adapt a bit. She came off screens really cleverly. She found space, used the traffic to get open off the ball. Her sister Rebecca has done a lot of work this summer, and we're going to look at starting Rebecca at point guard. So that means Sandra can get open off the ball and away from the ball for scoring opportunities. And something that was really impressive with Sandra was usually, if she scores 20 points, it's maybe 6 3-pointers and maybe a layup. But in this one, she scored 2 3-pointers for 6 points, and all the rest of her baskets then were at the hoop and being aggressive, getting to the free throw line and scoring inside. So that's just a more efficient way rather than just throwing up 3-pointers all the time. So I was very happy with that. But then Megan Keaveney as well stepped up, scored a few points. Megan's great for stepping in. She always has a lovely jump shot. So she gave us an outside threat, but we were just mismatched with the size and the speed. They outpaced us and outmatched us on the rebounds as well. So just those, because they were so good on the fast break, because they were able to get rebounds off their own misses, they just got a lot of easy baskets. So we weren't able to match them. But hopefully when we meet them again, with new personnel like Maria and Sarah Tyrrell might be there for that game. We'll have the match for them in that sense, and the physical side of it and the height size of it. Going into this weekend now, we have Mayo Mustangs at home. We're not sure what Mayo will be like, but I don't mind that because I like for us to focus on ourselves a bit more, focus on our own strengths and executing what we've been practicing and training. So, it's I'm looking forward to tomorrow now because, there's a few principles we've worked on. I feel like with the personnel we have a good chance to get a great first win at home for the season. Hopefully we can make the hub a fortress for ourselves. And we've big numbers. We have a full 12 for tomorrow. So hopefully it'll pay dividends and we can get the win.
That's it. And I suppose across all the board, with all the teams, of course, winning the home games is key throughout the season to be successful and to kind of maintain success, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. To make it, and I know we have great support, particularly for the men's games. We'd love to see bigger crowds for the women's games as well, just to make the hub somewhere teams kind of struggle to find the rhythm in. It's a lovely gym. We have a wonderful facility down there, and that's a testament to all the people working down at the hub, Brian Stenson, Benny O'Connell, and all their staff down there. So, it's a pleasure to play on it, and I think that it should be a source of pride and for our teams to play down there and to protect our home floor, and hopefully this year be very successful in it.
That's it, and it takes us on to finally onto the men's team. I suppose with the additions to the men's team, what changes can you see there that you'll be making, or the new lads that came in? How will you be using them this weekend, or in the first game?
I suppose we're actually not playing for a while. November 11th, I think, is our first game. Right. We had Longford couldn't. I think the Longford Phoenix men's actually have pulled out of the league since, so they couldn't play. And then we managed to get the 2 other October games pushed back because myself, Joseph Henry, David Quinn, and Frank Hester are all involved with these lads on this intermediate championship. So we managed to get all games pushed back. So it might stand against us because other teams will have more games played. They'll have 3-4 games played. But it worked out fairly well that we were able to not have a clash with the county championship. So the way we'll play, like, defense has always been our kind of first port of call, if you like, and then trying to get out in fast breaks off that. Michael Henry has shown me in the Longford tournament and over the summer, he's looking sharp, he's looking fast, he's attacking the basket, he's finishing left hand. For years I thought Henry to finish with his left hand, and this summer and over the few preseason games he's been finishing with that. Darragh Lowry as well has shown massive improvements just in his game awareness, his defense and his finishing ability. I've been working a lot with Darragh, or at least encouraging him a lot to go underhand and attack the basket a bit faster and be more willing to go in there and finish underhand. Especially when you're a guard and you go in there, it's tough to go up. So if he can stay low and just scoop it up there, it'll just make him a bigger threat. His confidence in his shooting is still there. We'll hopefully look at getting Darragh more minutes this year. Tadfilas Kersoulis as well is back with us. And again, Toddy's going to be energy on the fast break, baseline, jump shot, shooting threes. So it's going to be a tough task for me to manage minutes. There's so many players there, and I've probably missed a few who are so valuable. And just being able to get the starters off the floor without dropping off the level too much is very important. So the new personnel and the personnel coming back. As long as we all are on the same page on defense and how much we're willing to work and the intensity we're going to bring, we should get off to a good start this year and hopefully build momentum early and maintain it right through until March.
That's it, and thanks very much for that. And I suppose before we go, you'd like to, as usual, thank the usual sponsors for helping through the season. Like we say, look at fundraising and sponsors are key for the expenses, as in like gear, and I suppose any additional fees like league fee, entering the league, league fees and things like that. And just kind of general things. Funding and sponsorship is key. So I'm sure you'd like to thank the sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's so important. And, I suppose a lot of our players have worked for or know like these business owners, and, we're very proud to represent them and very proud to have the business names up around the home court. So it's, we're very grateful that they support us, and we're proud to be involved with the businesses. So far for 23-24, Benny's Deli have come on board. Amigo International have come on board as well, and covered the cost of a game. We have Wispy's Discount Store, again, always back every year to support us. And Mulligan's Menswear have come on board this year as well, which is something we're very grateful for. Rachel Mulligan plays for the women's team, so it's good to have the connection there. And we expect a few more to come back on board for this year in the coming weeks as we get closer, I suppose, to the bulk of the season. So thanks a million to all our sponsors, and we look forward to doing our best for you on the court for the year.
That's it, and of course I'll be on behalf of myself from Ross FM. We'll be looking forward to covering all this stuff as well, and giving local basketball great coverage, because I think it deserves it. Like all the sports locally, it's great to give it coverage. So we'll be looking forward to working with you through the season. And so thanks very much for taking the time out to do CASTLEREA Cavaliers basketball with us, and best of luck on Sunday in the county final, and we look forward to talking to you again next week.
Great, Aidan, thanks a million. Good to talk to you again, and I'll enjoy the season with you as well. So thank you.
No problem. Thanks very much. And that was Thomas Callaghan, the coach at CASTLEREA Cavaliers.